Alright guys, welcome back to the All Invitational number 5. I have to extremely apologize for having that last game casted with the overlay on. I have the laptop here with the stream going too, but because the delay is so huge, I wasn't paying attention to it at the time, and I'm really sorry. I will go back and recast that again so that we have it ready for the VODs. But okay, we have the next best of three series here in the round of 8, and oh my god, what is that race called again? I haven't seen it in forever.
Oh, that's the A move, isn't it?
The A move. I think he's using that keyboard that has like the 5 buttons on it.
Yeah, it's called a mouse.
Right, that one.
Yeah.
Alright, let's introduce the players here. I am going to introduce in the bottom right corner of King Sejong, I think that's a teal Zerg player, Mr. Master Kwang.
The upper left corner of the map, the green Protoss player going for a low ground pylon to start us off. It is Resurge.
Finally some Protoss to watch here. It's been so long since I've casted a Protoss game. Really looking forward to seeing what Resurge has for Kwang. Wonder if he practiced some builds here, because Kwang is a definite favorite for this tournament. It's going to be a bit of an uphill battle for him, but he is Protoss, so he has that in his favor.
I think we're going to have some kind of a cannon rush. Are we gearing up for a 12 forge? Looks like a 12 forge. 13 forge. Here we go.
That's the forge. Yeah, definitely has potential for it. And Kwang didn't send that early drone scouts, so he's going to be a little bit late spotting that.
Luckily for Kwang, he is going pool first, so any cannon rushes are going to have to be dedicated, shall we phrase it positively, to kill the hatch. But that being said, Resurge doesn't have to cannon rush. He's just giving himself the option. He is going up to 16, 17 probes, and if he wants to, he can throw down the Nexus right now. I think he's more doing this if he sees a hatch first, he can cannon rush. So I imagine... Oh, never mind.
He's just going to blind that.
I imagine he was going to just throw down the Nexus, but there's a few different kinds of Protoss players. There's the ones who like their builds to be very crisp, and then there are the ones who will just... okay to sacrifice some timings on their builds to block things. So just finish the pylon in the natural, and he is obnoxiously blocking the third base as well.
Yeah, and he's going to follow it up with a Nexus behind that. So he is giving himself the lead here. Definitely, although he might lose that probe, and that kind of sucks. Yeah, he just sacrificed it.
Yeah, that's a shame. From Kwang's point of view, oh, that's interesting. He's not taking the far
I thought he was going to.
I was going to say he would as well, because the pylon block isn't actually that big of a deal. I remember back when Stefano was dominating Protoss in Wings of Liberty, he was saying, as long as 2 of my hatcheries are building by, I think, 4 minutes or 4:30 or something, I win the game. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And he backed it up.
Oh, yeah.
But
and that was at a time...
Good to take. It's something good to take forward as well, because even if you do get pylon block and it's like, oh, that's so annoying, as long as you have that in your head, it's actually not that terrible.
Yeah, and I remember, I believe that was at a time when everybody was saying PvZ was broken, and like Zerg had no chance against Protoss, but then Stefano was the one saying, actually, Protoss has no chance against me. So, yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he was an interesting character. I do miss him in the scene. He had the guts to say, actually, no, I'm the one who's right, you're the one who's wrong. And he said, my race is OP, not the other way around. Yeah. Which is the most interesting, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in this specific case, though, Kwang did delay that third base. I mean, it is down now before 6 minutes, so it's still a fast third, but I think it was a little bit more delayed than he actually wanted it to be.
Yeah, I imagine it won't mean so much in the long term. We do see Resurges just going for the fairly standard, fairly standard, I say, Forge Fast Expand. Some players prefer the Nexus first, some people prefer the Gateway Openers. I don't think there's necessarily a right or a wrong option. I guess we'll find out.
It's really
what tech would you expect Resurge to go from here?
Well, I'm expecting to see what is that? Oh, Stargate. Okay, I was going to say Robobit, but he actually just dropped the Stargate down, so that's what he's doing. Probably going to end up getting a Robo to follow it up, but
yeah, the Robo is the likely transition.
Yeah, definitely. You need those Colossi. because it just forces Zerg down that path, right? You can't really stay on Hydra and Ling if you're making Colossi. Even Roaches are rough too, so you're forcing Zerg to make decisions that he might not want to make.
Yeah, and Quang does scout this instantly. Like, the Stargate hasn't even finished yet, so I think he will keep this Overlord around to make sure that it does finish, because some Protosses will cancel and build something else. I was one of those back in 2010. I was a shameless one of those.
I don't think it's. I think it's a. I love that kind of strategy actually, and it feels good when you're doing it too. You just like instant cancel and then switch your tech. He's actually not even going to lose that Overlord unless it's yeah, it's an Oracle coming out. So
yeah, so we do see the Oracle first. That's cool. Some people will transition. Will just make the one Oracle. Some people will make multiple Oracles. Some people will go Phoenixes. Some people will add Void Rays. There's one of Sand's builds. He goes Oracle into 4-gate, kill the 3rd. I don't think we're going to see that here because A, we don't have 4 gates. There's also no pylon bat on the map to walk in aggressive zealot. So I think this is just going to be an Oracle just to have. To try and be annoying, see what Zerg is doing.
Yeah, but yeah, those spores are in position as well as queens at each base, so this is going to be pretty tough for the Oracle to actually get any damage done. It's more going to be like a expensive scout here.
Yeah, he's going to be able to see what Quang's doing. Maybe if he was doing some weird roach planning, he could...
that drone there, yeah, a few drones going down here. That's annoying for Quang, but it's once you're on that 3 base. Oh, there goes the Oracle. So Quang's happy with that. I think he'll trade a couple drones for an Oracle any day. Now I like this. What Resurge is doing is taking down the rocks at his natural, which is going to kind of throw Quang off in terms of where the attack is coming from. But Quang smartly has Lings at the Watchtower and Overlords in position. He's going to spot that anyway. Not to mention...
He's actually made a full wall in his natural with 2 cannons. So he's not leaving. He's actually going to take the 3rd base on the opposite side.
Oh, okay.
That's something really cool. I've never seen quite this play before. I have seen, as he describes, go through the rocks to attack from the opposite side. But I've never seen the 3rd come down on this side. That's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, and it's smart because he's got a couple cannons to defend that wall, so these Lings really aren't going to be able to do much unless they seriously overcommit to it. But again, the Ling for Quang does see the 3rd base going down on this side, so he knows what's up anyway. And look at this, his 4th base is like a hop, skip, and a jump away from Resurge's 4th base. So I'd say that I'd give the edge in position to Resurge right now.
Yeah, but just by taking Resurge taking this 3rd base, just by having it there, he puts pressure on Quang's 3rd base. Like, Quang is probably in his head thinking, okay, is this 4th base I have even gonna finish? Should I be taking the one on the other side? We even see him starting to kill the rocks in his natural. Maybe he's thinking, okay, I need to take the equivalent base because that's further away from the Protoss.
Yeah, and it seems like Aaron just as well, I don't want to say he's in Quang's head because I don't think that's the case, but you can see the creep spread going all the way around the right side for Quang. He was really expecting some action on that side of the map, but with Resurge taking the base down here instead, that creep is really not doing too much except for connecting to the 5th base.
Yeah, so we do see that Quang is choosing to open up with Mutas. Some Zergs would like to do that. I'm more of the type of Zerg Zerg player who used to transition into Mutas. But the dangerous thing for Quang here is he knows that the Stargate is already up, and Resurge is also scouted to Spire, so he's throwing down 2 additional Stargates. So we're going to have... the Mutas are going to need some form of support, either from Corruptors or another tech choice, maybe Hydras or Infestors.
The Infestation Pit is down already. So, at least I think so. I'm pretty sure I saw that there.
Yeah, it's in the main.
Oh, there it is, yeah. Okay, so it's down already, so he has that option. We saw Pisosa using Infestors earlier. I'd love to see Infestors make a comeback here, because they're definitely a fun unit to watch. But Mutas are on the map now, and the Stargates aren't producing anything. So the initial attack here is going to be a surprise. And there's no defenses. Oh, hold on, what am I saying? There's a couple Phoenix here. Photon Overcharge goes down, and actually, with the Mutas focusing the Phoenix, I don't know. I mean, Quang's higher level player than me, but I think I would have rather seen him jump into the mineral line. I don't know. What about you? I suppose it doesn't
really
matter
hard
now.
to poke around because there's so many cannons in the natural. Somehow these lings have gotten into the main. I don't know how they managed to do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they just ran right through the wall here. They're actually going to take out that Nexus. That is pretty hilarious. Yeah, but now here we have Resurge with a Protoss army that is fairly strong, and he's still on 2 base economy. They'll be able to rebuild that Nexus.
And he also has the gas he earned from a 3 base economy, so his army short term is going to grow as it was before. But these mutas are an absolute pain.
Definitely. Now, luckily, yeah, only 4. But isn't it true that, like, with perfect micro, 4 Phoenix can kill all of the mutas?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to put 100% of your focus on the Phoenixes, whereas Zerg can be running units around everywhere during that time.
And
so
that's
yeah,
exactly
you
what
can
Quang's
kill
doing.
the mutas. But what about everything else? Here we see everything else by the natural going in right now.
Exactly. Quang doing a good job moving his army around, forcing Resurge to just make decisions on the fly. And it looks like Resurge is just going to move out instead of coming back. So we're going to find ourselves in a base race situation here, where I give Quang the edge because he's got all these mutas with the mobility.
Yeah, Resurge is going to fill up his 3rd base with as many cannons as he can fit in there. And just go. He has to put more. I'm talking. He needs like 10 cannons in this 3rd base right now.
Void Ray's going down. There's still 3 Phoenix here, and there are a couple cannons. There's going to be a lot of damage.
This isn't going to go so well. This is sad.
I don't know though. See, the thing is, there's not much at home for Quang except for a handful of lings over by his 5th base. The 3rd has gone down. Now the income is still largely intact for Quang, and you cannot say the same thing about Resurge, and Resurge actually GG's out of that one.
Yeah. Something I'd like to add about Quang, you remember when we were talking about mutas and I was saying you float a ton of minerals and you sometimes end up in base trades like that? Throw down spine crawlers. He had the money to afford, like, I don't know, 10, 15 spine crawlers throughout when he was making mutas, just maybe cut a few lings, and then he is secure against base trades. He knows he can commit a lot more heavily with his mutas and have to come back as quickly.
Yeah, you know,
maybe that's me nitpicky.
Well, that's the thing is, I think that Resurge may have still had a bit of a chance because, I mean, he did lose pretty much all his probes. I think there was 4 left when he GG'd, but he had he still had a pretty strong army, and Quang was losing a lot of mutas while he was making that attack happen. And all he had other than that was lings, and I mean, Resurge had the anti-ling army there, so I don't really, I don't know. I mean, it could have gone.
Yeah, I think the problem for Resurge that game was his anti-ling army was also a surrogate anti-muta army. His Phoenix count was so low, he couldn't effectively deal with the mutas with the Phoenixes he had, and they just died anyway, so he had to use his anti-ling army to chase the mutas around, and then the lings got into his main and killed everything.
Yeah.
And that I think was the turning point of that game.
When they got into the main and killed that Nexus.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen. It sounds weird to say when the lings get into the main and kill the Nexus.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just saying that in your head, it's like, wait, hang on a minute, how did that happen? But it did, because his main defense was going chasing these mutas. It should have been just the Phoenixes and the Blink Stalkers. That being said, that is incredibly easy to say and incredibly hard to do.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I have to say about the Nexus dying in the main is I feel like it could have been pretty easily rebuilt and didn't necessarily hurt Resurge as much as it would have had it been like the 3rd base or even the natural. But, I mean, that being said, it's still a huge annoyance, and ultimately ended up leading to Quang winning the game, so there you have it.
I wonder what Resurge is going to do on this map. He definitely has a lot more options to do some kind of a more 2-basey kind of play. Again, he opened up with the faster forge on King Sejong, so he could do the same on Overgrowth as well. It's going to be a case of, in these scenarios, a case of what does the Protoss want to do, and how does the Zerg respond, normally. That's your Tang. And it's the other way around.
We'll have to see. It looks like he wants to have a bit of a break here, so not sure what he's doing. We'll find out.
That's fine. That's the problem last game. Resurge wasn't yellow. Ah. Rang the troll. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start the game soon. I don't know this. I can't remember how it works when you join a custom game. If it like automatically locks to the last color you had or something, or what, or if Quang just picked it faster.
It doesn't seem to be like a consistent thing, because some games when back when I was playing a lot more actively, I'd join and I was like, oh yeah, sweet, yellow Zerg already, here we go. And then some games I'd join and it'd be like, oh, here you go, red Terran. I'm like, what? I never played Terran except for now. Why am I red Terran all of a sudden? Should be yellow Zerg. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. It was really strange.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact science behind it all. Alright, I'm starting it. I'm starting it. Yeah, well, we're going to have to see if you can make it to the finals here, and if Quang makes it to the finals, then that's going to be a battle.
It's going to be whoever plays yellow most wins 4-3.
Okay, let's turn the
Fire of yellow.
Let's turn the proper screen on here and get started in Game 2 on Overgrowth LE. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce in the bottom left corner.
Hang on a minute. Resurge isn't actually doing anything. So maybe we won't.
Oh man!
Like, there's no way he can go for a 6-ball because he's Protoss. Yeah.
All right.
Let's try that one again. Take 2. This time he'll get yellow. Maybe this was part of his plan. Yeah, the 0 APM. He wasn't doing anything. He was alt-tabbed or something.
What? Okay, Resurge is forfeited, I guess.
Was he?
Yeah, he just said GG and left the party. That's how you tilt a player? I guess so. Alright, well. Okay, so that's it then. Is that that's the entire round of 8 then?
I don't know, you might want to check in with him and see what's going on.
I will.
He's messaged you already.
Resurge? No. He just said GG and left. I will talk to him just really quickly here. See if he's actually serious. It seems like he is, though.
I mean, I don't know. Seems a little weird.
Yeah.
By a little weird, I mean a lot of weird.
I guess it could have been two things. I mean, it could have been the fact that he just didn't get the color he wanted, which I sort of don't want to believe. I'd rather believe that maybe he just doesn't think he has a chance to beat Quang, and that's why he's not wanting to play again. I just asked him if he's done, and I'll give him a minute or so to respond, but if not, we're just going to have to let Quang take it.
Yeah. I mean, even if it was the I don't think I've got a chance thing, we've had... could make the case that 2 of our other series today had the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to try it out. You learn by getting your ass kicked, so I don't know.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, the principle of it.
Yeah, for sure. And that, okay, well in that case then let me just bring up the bracket here on stream. We're gonna call it. I'm gonna give that to Quang because I don't want. I mean, when you do something like that, you're forfeiting in my eyes.